use the act displayed by Duryodhana, the act of Duryodhana displayed his clever use of politics, which is called Rajniti. That is why he is indicated as Raja. So one who is expert in Rajniti is also Raja. So from here, Prabhupada has took the word Raja and put in the translation. Prabhupada is a deep person. Okay, please read the purport. The pious Sanjaya, Dhritarashtra.
Hare Krishna. Dhritarashtra was blind from birth. Unfortunately, he was also bereft of spiritual vision. He knew very well that his sons were equally blind in the matter of religion, and he was sure that they could never reach an understanding with the Pandavas, who were all pious since birth. Still, he was doubtful about the influence of the place of pilgrimage, and Sanjaya could understand his motive in asking about the situation on the battlefield. Sanjaya wanted, therefore, to encourage the despondent king and thus assured him that his sons were not going to make any sort of compromise under the influence of the holy place. Sanjaya therefore informed the king that his son Duryodhan, after seeing the military force of the Pandavas, at once went to the commander in chief Dronacharya to inform him of the real position. Although Duryodhana is mentioned as the king, he still had to go to the commander on account of the seriousness of the situation. He was therefore quite fit to be a politician. But Duryodhan's diplomatic veneer could not disguise the fear he felt when he saw the military arrangement of the Pandavas.
So this is the reason. The last line is the reason why Duryodhana went to Dronacharya. He was afraid. He was thinking that the whole world will only support me and not the Pandavas. The description is 18 Akshainis. 11 were on the side of Kauravas, 7 were on the side of Pandavas. Akshauhinis. It's a combination. These many soldiers, these many chariots, these many horses, like that. Akshauhini is a very big unit. So technically on paper, Pandavas should not have won, but they won because of Krishna. And Dronacharya was thinking, before the Mahabharat war, I have sent my messengers in different parts of the world. I have asked for help. And Kshatriya code of conduct is whoever asks for help first, they have to help him. Unless they have the discrimination of dharma. So Duryodhana was thinking that, somehow by doing some politics or Rajniti, I have got the help of most kings of the world. Definitely I'll win. Pandavas will maybe these 5 brothers will come alone only. Because who will support them? Like that he was thinking. But he was amazed. They have managed to get this much, 7 Akshauhinis there. And apart from that, look at them. His fear will be further explained why he is afraid. He saw Bhima. He saw Drishtadyumna. He saw Arjuna in the battlefield. He saw various other people. So because of that, he was afraid. That I was thinking that this will not be a big fight. But now, I'm a little bit worried. So therefore, he went to the military teacher, whose name is Dronacharya. And why is Sanjaya speaking this verse? Also explained in the purport. Sanjaya wanted therefore to encourage the despondent king and thus assured him and his sons that his sons were not going to make any sort of compromise for the holy place. Why Duryodhana is called as Raja? Because he is displaying great Rajniti. One who displays great Rajniti also can be called as Raja. We'll read verse number 3. Pashyaitam Panduputranam Acharya Mahatim Chamu
Vyudham Drupada Putrena Tava Shishyena Dhimata.
O my teacher, behold the great army of the sons of Pandu, so expertly arranged by your intelligent disciple, the son of Drupada. Please read the purport.
Purport: Duryodhana, a great diplomat, wanted to point out the defects of Dronacharya, the great Brahmana commander in chief. Dronacharya had some political quarrel with King Drupada, the father of Draupadi, who was Arjuna's wife. As a result of this quarrel, Drupada performed a great sacrifice by which he received the benediction of having a son who would be able to kill Dronacharya. Dronacharya knew this perfectly well, and yet, as a liberal Brahmana, he did not hesitate to impart all his military secrets when the son of Drupada, Drishtyadumna, was entrusted to him for military education. Now, on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Drishtyadumna took the side of the Pandavas, and it was he who arranged for their military phalanx, after having learned the art from Dronacharya. Duryodhana pointed out this mistake of Dronacharya's so that he might be alert and uncompromising in the fighting. By this, he wanted to point out also that he should not be similarly lenient in battle against the Pandavas, who were also Dronacharya's affectionate students. Arjuna, specially, was his most affectionate and brilliant student. Duryodhana also warned that such leniency in the fight would lead to defeat.
Yes. So there is a deep discussion going on here. Duryodhana is trying to hide his fear via politics. Although he's afraid, but he's approaching his spiritual master as if as showing a sign of respect to his guru and trying to have some discussions with him. At the same time, Duryodhana is pointing out few things here. What is Duryodhana pointing out?
How the arrangement of military force.
Yes, he's definitely pointing out the arrangement of the military force.
How his own student, how Dronacharya's own student is going to become their next.
Yes, he is pointing out the fact that you have been very liberal. Don't be liberal in this battle. You were liberal in the past. You knew Drishtadyumna is going to kill you, but you are a great Brahmana. He came to you, you taught him how to kill you. I hope in this battle you will not let him kill you, just like that. Another intention here is Duryodhana is trying to anger Drona also. How he is trying to anger Drona? Reminding him of so Drupad को याद करके गुस्सा क्यों आ जाएगा? Can you tell the whole story? I know you know. Mic दीजिए उनको. Anybody who speaks, immediately give them the mic. What is the story, Mataji? Please let us know.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranams. Mic is not working. Working. Okay, so Drupad and Dronacharya was in the same Gurukul, both of them, and they were good friends. When Dronacharya was in poverty with his wife and Ashwathama, he went to Drupad for help, financial or any help from Drupad, because Drupad once assured him that he will give half his kingdom if he comes sometimes in future. So
why didn't Drupad help him if he had assured in his childhood?
But he forgot his promise and he refused. He said he can give some land and cows, but he didn't want to give anything more. Didn't give him the respect when he came.
Why he didn't respect him? Kshatriyas are supposed to respect Brahmanas. I cannot hear anybody who speaks without a mic.
Is a egoistic, is a king, is a felt, is a king, is a poor brahmana, is not respected him. Drona.
Okay. Because somebody is poor, so will not respect him.
Brahmana should not because he thinks that Kshatriya is the one that he should become Raja, and he was a Brahmana. He has the desire to enjoy that kingdom. So in his childhood, he said, "I'll give you 50%, like half of my kingdom." When he went there, he said, "You are a Brahmana. You should not aspire to be a king," because his desire was also to rule and become a king as a Brahmana. So then he did not respect that also. That was also one of the things.
Looks like you belong to the family of Dronacharya. You know him very well. Somebody wants to add personal realizations. Drona ko actually bola nahi, lekin he wanted this. Okay, give him the mic. I cannot hear you without the mic.
Prabhuji, it's social status means he was a poor Brahmana, he was a king, so he was not as a good friend as Krishna and Sudama. He was like in our status is not matching, so we can't be friends. And in Gurukula, status was same. In Gurukula, everyone's status is same. So he just promised in that friendship. But as soon as he came
But
out,
the relationship between a Brahmana and a Kshatriya, a teacher and a student, has got nothing to do with the status.
so Dronacharya was not teacher. He was he came there as
Every
a friend.
Brahmana is in the position of teacher.
But he came as a friend, and he make that as a friend you have to give me half kingdom. Then
Did he demand half kingdom or just a cow?
a cow, I think, cow.
Then what was the problem of Drishtadyumna? Sorry.
Friend. As a friend, he don't want to give status social.
As a friend, मैं तुम्हारा दोस्त हूँ इसलिए गाय नहीं दूंगा.
As a friend, I means a friend नहीं हूँ. As a friend, you should not ask donation के लिए.
The lesson here is nobody wins an ego battle. I have some ego, you have some ego, we are both talking to each other. Who will win? But whose ego will win? Your ego or my ego? Answer is nobody wins an ego battle. Dronacharya was also showing his ego. I have not come here to ask. You promised me. I've come here to fulfill your promise. And this fellow was also egoistic. Drupada. He was saying, if you want to ask something as a Brahmana, you ask. But don't show me all these nonsense ego. I have given charity to so many Brahmanas, I can give you also. First, you cut down your ego. Ask like a person who is little respectful. Show me some respect first. So nobody wins an ego battle. Due to this ego battle, Drupada denied to give. Then what happened? Take a mic and please explain. Homa.
After that, the Kauravas went, they were lose on the battlefield. The Dronacharya sent them to conquer the Dushtadumna, but they lose, and then Pandavas went. They conquered the Dushtadumna and then brought it to Drupada, and then they taken their
50%.
no 50%. That Brahmana they given everything them only. Then they take the revenge of that Dronacharya. They made Oma. They brought Draupadi and Dushtadumna. That's the Dushtadumna is there.
So why all this should incite anger in why is we know that instead of calling him as Drishtadyumna, Duryodhana is calling him as son of Drupada. Why will all this incite anger in Dronacharya?
Sorry, Prabhu, this question.
My question is, why is Duryodhana telling son of Drupada instead of Drishtadyumna? Answer is to incite anger, to make Dronacharya angry. Why should this incite anger?
But Dushtadumna born only to kill the Dronacharya.
Yes. Two reasons are there. Dronacharya is still having some ego. Otherwise, why will he become angry? Second, This Drupada, son of Drupada, is your disciple. He has come so close as the commander of this Pandava army. They should first come and take your blessings. Look how arrogant your students are. First of all, he is son of Drupada, that friend whom you don't like. And second, they are not considering your exalted position as a teacher. Only Yudhishthira came to take your blessings. But look at this Drupada, son of Drupada. He didn't come to take your blessings also. He's so arrogant. So you become angry, Dronacharya. Why? Because he's son of Drupada. First of all, his birth only is a problem. Son of Drupada. Had he been the son of anybody, it would have been okay. But he's son of Drupada. Second, look at him. He is not offering obeisances to you. Like this, Baldev Vidya Bhushan is commenting. So therefore, this sign that Drupada is standing like this, you should take it as disrespect. And you should become angry. That is how intelligent politician Duryodhana is. And first of all, you have made a mistake. You knew that he is going to kill you. Why you taught him? This Bhishma is already liberal. He has taken a vow he will not kill the Pandavas. You were also liberal. You taught Drupada's son. अब आप लोग क्या मुझे बेच दोगे इस war में? In that intention, he is trying to explain. The word which is used here is dhimata, very intelligent. Whom is Duryodhan calling the very intelligent? Drishtadyumna. Why? Because he has learned from Dronacharya. But why he didn't call Dronacharya as Dhimata? Because Dronacharya was foolish to teach Drishtadyumna. This is the angle which Duryodhan is presenting. Every word is very deep here. Pakka politician. Vyudham Drupada Putrena Tava Shishyena Dhimata. He's your Shishya, that's why he's Dhimata. Please become angry. Good question. Please ask your question in the mic. I cannot hear your question properly.
So basically, every person, like I say, whenever somebody gets angry or something like that, can be say that it is also only the attribute or somewhere for the ego only. Whenever you get angry for any damage and for anything.
Do you know how anger arises? He's telling expectations.
No, but I'm saying that every angry kind of angry, whether good,
No,
bad.
leave that every angry, secondary angry, one angry. Tell me how anger comes. What is the basis of your statement? Yeah, so there is a cycle, 2.6263. Dhyayato Vishya Pumsa. You want to enjoy sense objects. This desire is coming from where? That is coming from where? That is coming from where? That is coming from false ego. True ego means I am a servant of Krishna. False ego means I want to enjoy. I am the Lord of everything that I serve. So, Dhyayato Vishya Pumsa. Instead of Dhyayato on Krishna, we are doing Dhyayato Vishya Pumsa. Then Sangasteshu Pajayate, Sangat Sanjayate, Kamat Krodho Vijayate. Enjoyer mentality comes from ego. Desire for sense gratification comes from ego. And this sense gratification is the root cause of all enviousness and lust, anger, etc. Everything you can. Primarily, lust is very important for sense gratification. Sorry, due to lust, anger comes. So now my next question to those people who brought in this anger topic, how will you manage your anger? Or how to manage our anger? During when you are angry, you should understand you are serving. Won't be angry only. लेकिन anger आ गया है. अब कैसे समझेंगे कि we are servant? First of all, we want to show that servant his position that he is my servant because I'm angry. Nonsense! This is my servant and he's giving me order. इधर आओ. How to control anger or how to manage the anger? बट अब कंटेम्पलेट कर लिया है, एंगर आ गया है, हाथ में चाकू है.
Prabhuji, by considering everyone as the son of Krishna, anger आया है भाई भाई के बीच में है, ठीक है.
भाई भाई के बीच में है.
Let him
भाई भाई ने महाभारत किया, मैं भी कर लेता हूँ.
by forgiving.
चलो महाभारत किया, मैं महा होप फार्म कर लेता हूँ या महा चना संदरा कर लेता हूँ, महा कनमंगला.
The other option could be, Prabhu, like you think that whatever has happened is not to you, it is to your body, the physical
When you
part.
do this, when you are angry,
It's not
tell
that
me
you,
practically, is it possible?
it's not practically possible.
तो फिर क्यों
But
बोल रहे हो? जो
the
प्रैक्टिकल है उसको
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Actually, whatever Mayur Prabhu was saying, sorry, your name.
अरे आप माइक को सामने रखिए भाई, ऐसे ऐसे करके.
So I mean, on similar angle, whatever Prabhuji mentioned, if we realize that everyone belongs to
But
Krishna,
will you realize this when you are angry? That is my question.
Prabhuji वो realize करना पड़ेगा.
करना
क्योंकि
पड़ेगा.
देखिए होता क्या है, जब सामने वाला कोई मजबूत मतलब कमजोर व्यक्ति होगा तो हम गुस्सा निकाल लेंगे, और सामने वाला अगर पहलवान होगा तो हम भी चुप होकर बैठ जाएंगे कि भाई ये मार देगा. जब तक हम रियलाइज नहीं करेंगे कि वो भी कृष्ण का भक्त है और मेरा नुकसान हो जाएगा तो हम चुप नहीं होंगे.
Okay, since I am also affected by anger quite often, so I am also doing some exercise I want to share with all of you. All the victims of my anger, kindly take note, I am taking some steps. Point number 1. Training for war cannot be done during war. It has to be done in peace. The more you train in peace, the lesser you bleed in. So practice for anger management has to happen when you are not in anger. This is the first step. When you are not angry, you should try to write down or contemplate the horrors of anger. Now it varies from person to person. Whenever I see myself angry or whenever I think of the word anger, I will try to train my mind of seeing 440 volts skull and haddi sign. Khatra, danger. That you have to memorize. I mean, visualize. Anger मतलब खतरा. जैसे होता है ना, ठंडा मतलब, वैसे anger मतलब, like that you have to practice. जैसे क्या बोलते हैं, people say हमको I'm going to buy Surf Excel. They mean it is detergent. But detergent का मतलब surf ले आओ. तो वैसे ही anger मतलब खतरा. This you have to train yourself. Again, the point which first let me finish, then you share your khatra. इसमें क्या doubt है? These are my practices. My practices are my practices are doubtful. I am practicing this. Anger means khatra. This you have to practice. बार बार खुद को याद दिलाओ. Second thing which you have to remind yourself: nobody will win this ego battle. I am thinking I will shut that person's mouth by speaking some things, by revealing some things, but that will also not help me. Even if I win this conversation, I will actually not win. Because this is an ego battle. Nobody wins an ego battle. The more I fight, the more I will lose. If I let loose my anger, I will lose. If you let it loose, who will lose? You will lose. If you let your anger loose, then who will lose? Yeah, I will lose. This kind of understanding should be there. Another point, anger always goes out of proportion. Whenever you try to use your anger, there will not be any instances where it was used proportionately. Hamesha, it will be out of proportion. Have you noticed this? Anger always, almost always, only for Mahabhagavats it remains in proportion. But otherwise, anger consumes us and it always goes out of proportion. Example, in the 6th canto of Bhagavatam, there is a person called Vishwarup who has become the spiritual master of Indra and the other demigods. From his father's side, he belonged to the demigods. From his mother's side, I think he was from the demon's side. So when he was doing some fire sacrifice, he was giving majority, 90-95% of the shares to the demigods, but 5% he was out of affection, out of sympathy, out of compassion, he was giving to the demons. Indra saw this, he didn't like it. So what he did? Option A, he had a dialogue with him. Option B, he discussed with him. Option C, he highlighted the problems with the demons will create if they get into power. Or option D, he killed him. So was this in proportion? Why he did this? Because Indra became angry. So almost always wherever anger is being described in Bhagavatam or any place, you will see it always goes out of proportion. So you should remind yourself, anger is khatra. If I let loose, I lose. Even if I win, I don't win. These kind of practices you should do. It always goes out of proportion. The more we practice, the more stronger we will become to manage anger. One big way to handle anger is, or diffuse the whole situation is, you accept whatever you are being accused of. Suppose somebody is accusing you of having done something. If you defend yourself, will they understand? Chances are less. Why? Because they are already angry. कितना भी बोलो वो समझेंगे नहीं. Accept कर लो. When you accept something, their anger comes down. The whole situation is diffused. We are not saying that if somebody is telling you have murdered someone, so you accept it. हाँ मैंने murder किया है. In anger, people say things which they don't mean. Do you agree? So if they don't mean, then what's the harm in accepting it? If you just accept it, their anger will come down, the whole situation is diffused, then they will realize, I have crossed the line. कुछ लोग कभी भी realize नहीं करते. तो फिर ऐसे लोगों से बात ही क्यों करना? This is how I have seen, especially in my devotee community, ashram life. When people become angry with me, I'm practicing to maybe accept what they are saying. So because they are sensible people, they realize.
Staying quiet.
Yeah, staying quiet. For example, somebody highlighted that you are strict with others and lenient with yourself. Yes, I am. I'll try to work upon it. वहीं पर diffuse हो जाता है. But if you do not accept, ऐसा क्यों बोल रहे हो? I am lenient with only you. not with others, and I am stricter with myself. You don't know my glories. Then though he will start, you will start, and it will continue. So if it is a personal allegation upon you, especially related to character, just accept and keep quiet. You will see the whole situation will be diffused. This is some experiences I am having to manage anger. I have not become successful. Sorry to all the victims. Some of you are sitting here also. But this is how we have to manage anger. Okay? You have to practice when you are not angry. Now, somebody had doubt in this practice. You can ask your doubts because he has been a victim. प्रभु जी आप तो खरी बोलते हो, करते तो कभी नहीं हो.
Hare Krishna. Not in practice, Prabhuji. Doubt is like in CC I was hearing from His Grace Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So there was one shloka where it mentioned like if someone is getting angry if on an offender of a devotee Shastra or Lord, then we should get angry on him.
Yes.
So
So anger has to, this is for controlling anger. Unleashing anger, when to unleash?
no,
Only when somebody is offending the Lord or devotees of the Lord, that time you should become angry.
but as you mentioned, like very correct point, anger always goes out of proportion. अब पता चला
हाँ, so don't go out of proportion.
करने अच्छे के लिए गए थे और
So therefore you should be, see, great souls can take these steps.
what should we do, Prabhuji, in that situation? Means we are not great souls. Someone is offending in front of us. What should we do?
You should become angry. You should become angry and be within limits. इसका murder मत करो. Somebody murdered someone. Why you murdered? No, he was offending Prabhupada. Then be ready to face the consequences. उसके बाद जेल भी जाना होगा. What is the difference between?
टॉलरेंस एंड एक्सेप्टेंस, मतलब एक्सेप्ट करो उस चीज को, टॉलरेट करो. सामने वाला हो सकता है गलत नहीं हो और किसी का एंगर बहुत टॉप पर ईगो के कारण, तो वो सामने वाला टॉलरेट कर रहा है उसे, कब तक एक्सेप्ट करेगा वो?
क्या चल रहा है?
मीन्स कि कई बार प्रभु जी ईगो जब रहता है तो ईगो हमेशा एंगर बनाता है. ईगो कंट्रोल नहीं हो रहा है, तो हो सकता है कि कई कितने लोग होते हैं जो टॉलरेट करते हैं, एक हाइट पर टॉलरेट करते हैं, तो उन्हें गुस्सा नहीं आ रहा है, लेकिन एक लिमिट है हर चीज का कि एक टॉलरेंस का भी. हाँ,
हर चीज का एक थ्रेशोल्ड होता है. रिसेंटली मेरा भी थ्रेशोल्ड क्रॉस हुआ है.
तो अगर टॉलरेट पे भी एंगर हो सकता है, क्योंकि दोनों एंगर तो.
आपका सवाल क्या है?
प्रभु जी एक्सेप्ट करना, अगर कोई एंगर,
अगर को बोलने दीजिए ना, लेटर वो आपका क्या प्रश्न है, आप बताइए.
क्वेश्चन है कि प्रभु जी अगर कोई एंगर है तो सामने वालों को एक्सेप्ट कर लेना चाहिए, उस वक्त जो भी करा उसे मान लेना चाहिए. यहाँ पे यही है, तो सामने वाला एक्सेप्ट कर रहा है, तो जो एंगर हो रहा है, उसे बार बार आदत है एंगर होने की, तो सामने वाला एक्सेप्ट किया है, तो टॉलरेंस और एक्सेप्टेंस क्या है? वो टॉलरेट करा है, एक्सेप्ट करा है. एक्सेप्ट करा मीन्स उसका ईगो को हमेशा वो सपोर्ट कर रहा है. एक्सेप्ट करा मीन्स वो हमेशा, अगर कोई एंगर हो रहा है, कोई भी पर्सन है जो एंगर हो रहा है, तो सामने वाला उसे एक्सेप्ट कर रहा है, तो उसे कभी पता ही नहीं चलेगा.
ये तो समुद्र से भी ज्यादा डीप क्वेश्चन है. Somebody is repeatedly getting angry and someone is just accepting, और एक्सेप्ट करने के बाद भी कुछ चेंजेस नहीं दिख रहा है, तो क्या ऑप्शन है?
तो फिर तो प्रभु जी तो जो टॉलरेट करा है,
Let's discuss the options. Don't make this a formula. We need to see. For example, I am staying, let's say, with some devotees and they are getting angry at me again and again. So first I should think, what am I doing that they are becoming angry? Option A, क्या वो मेरे दुश्मन है? Option B, क्या मेरे शक्ल पर लिखा है, hit me, kill me? Are they having a grudge against me? Or am I doing some actions which is disturbing their mind? Lord Chaitanya told when somebody's mind is disturbed, at that time one should not give them any advice. When Nityananda Prabhu was kicked on the chest, when Nityananda Prabhu kicked Srivas on the chest, the cousin of Srivas became very disturbed. He went to Lord Chaitanya and he started talking to Lord Chaitanya without offering obeisances. So Swarup Damodar came and, "Hey, tum kya kar rahe ho?" First, it's like when you come to altar, first offer obeisances. Mahaprabhu said, don't tell him anything. His mind is disturbed enough. Purport Srila Prabhupada writes, don't offer any advice to a person whose mind is disturbed. Wait for their mind to get settled. So we have to do analysis. There is no one-line answer for this question. जिस तरह इस जगत में हमेशा बारिश नहीं होता, जिस तरह इस जगत में हमेशा धूप नहीं होता, उस तरह से एक आदमी या एक औरत में हमेशा गुस्सा नहीं होता. It's always changing. So when it is raining outside, what will you do? Wait for the rain to stop and then go out and do what you want to do. When lust attacks a person, what they should do? Immediately satisfy the lust? No. Just like you waited for some time for the rain to stop, so you just wait for some time, the lust will also settle down. It's not a permanent emotion. So similarly, all these emotions are not permanent. How to deal with it? Answer is patience. Without being patient, it is not possible to deal. Without being tolerant, it is not possible to deal. Without being forgiving, it is not possible. Until you forgive, how will you have a relationship? If we get into the game of kaun sahi hai, kaun galat hai, that's an ego battle. And who wins in an ego battle? No one wins the ego battle. So somebody has to become large-hearted. What do you think? कोई ऑप्शन, कोई solution है इसका? There is no solution. आप इस क्लास में बैठे हैं, ये आपका कर्मा है कि ऐसा टीचर मिला है. अब आप क्या कर सकते हैं? सुनो, try to read. You have a desire to study directly under व्यासदेव, but आपको मिला है ऐसे ही. अभी क्या कर सकते हैं?
प्रभु जी
ठीक है. अब further questions should be related to Bhagavad Gita.
नहीं, प्रभु जी क्वेश्चन नहीं है.
Yes.
प्रभु जी, we can say we have to practice like प्रहलाद महाराज, क्योंकि उनके पास बहुत सारे प्रॉब्लम्स आए थे, उन्होंने उससे पेशेंस के साथ डील किया था. तो हम अगर डिवोटी है तो उन्हें
कोशिश कर सकते हैं. डेफिनेटली. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल हमको प्रहलाद महाराज के स्तर पर आने के लिए बहुत टाइम लगेगा. बट इफ वी कैन कम टू दैट प्लेटफॉर्म, देन तो देयर आर नो क्वेश्चंस. ये सब क्वेश्चंस का डिस्कशन का ही मतलब नहीं है. प्रहलाद महाराज कभी नहीं पूछे मेरा बाप मेरे को क्यों जलाने का कोशिश किया. He didn't ask नरसिंहदेव also कि एक बार तो जलाया, मैंने एक्सेप्ट किया, दूसरी बार हाथी से चपवाया, उसको भी एक्सेप्ट किया, फिर सांप भेजा, उसको भी एक्सेप्ट किया. मैं एक्सेप्ट ही कर रहा हूँ, वो कुछ कर क्यों नहीं रहा है? Why is he not understanding?
we are devotee na, so we have to practice like Prabhupada.
Definitely, we have to practice. We should try to come to the platform of Prahlad Maharaj. That will be the success of our Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna. Next verse, verse number 4. अत्र सूरा महेश्वास भीमार्जुन समायुधि युयुधानो विराटश्च द्रुपदश्च महारथः. Here in this army are many heroic bowmen equal in fighting to Bhima and Arjuna. Great fighters like Yuyudhana, Virata and Drupada. Please read the purport.
Even though Drushtadumna was not a very important obstacle in the face of Dronacharya's very great power of the military art, there were many others who were cause of fear. They are mentioned by Duryodhana is a great stumbling block of the path of victory, because each and every one of them was a formidable as Bhima and Arjuna. He knew the strength of Bhima and Arjuna, and thus he compared the others with them.
Why he's telling Bhima and Arjuna? Why not Arjuna and Bhima? Why Bhima's name is told here first?
He taken over to kill all the.
Listen, I cannot hear anybody. Without the mic, I cannot hear anything.
He taken vow is going to kill all Kurus.
Very good. How many vows did Bhima take?
2.
Option A 1, option B 2, option C 3,
2.
option D 4. 2 vows.
I know 2, Prabhu.
You know 2? Okay. Smart answer. How many vows he took? 2. I know 2. Sorry. How many chapters are there in Bhagavad-gita? 5. I know 5. Okay, how many vows did he take? And why did he take Bhima's name first? Kill Duryodhana. Yes, this could be one answer. Bhima actually took 3 vows. Who can tell me all the 3 vows of Bhima? आप लोग vows ज़्यादा सुनते नहीं है ना? उनको दीजिए.
So one was to kill all the Kauravas.
Okay.
100 brothers. One was to drink the blood from Dushashan's chest.
Okay.
And one to not remembering Bruce.
Third वाला याद नहीं आ रहा है. I cannot hear you. थोड़ा time लग रहा है, but at least we should have 2 mics, I feel.
Prabhuji, to break the thigh of.
Why? Thigh क्यों break करेंगे?
He showed this to Draupadi कि इस पे आकर के बैठो थाई पर तो.
Yes. So these were the 3 vows of Bhima. So therefore Duryodhana is obsessed with Bhima. Therefore he is telling Bhima and Arjuna. Another reason why he is telling these things, because he wants Dronacharya to give up his sentiments for all these Pandavas by reminding, look at this Bhima. He has taken these 3 vows. Look at this Arjuna. He can kill us the whole army. So like that he's telling Dronacharya indirectly that you give up all. Anyways, Bhishma has taken a vow not to kill Pandavas. You don't take such a vow. Another detail, this is not related in Bhagavad-gita, but it is mentioned in Mahabharata. Bhima was a great bowman. This B.R. Chopra did not tell you. Bhima has defeated even Karna in bow and arrow fight. Reference is Mahabharata, where Karna and Bhima are fighting. So Karna is defeated by Bhima many times. And on the final day, 17th day, when Karna is dying, at that time Karna has managed to break the Ratha of Bhima. So Bhima at that time, if he wanted, Mahabharata says that he could have just held Karna like this and crushed him. But then he started running away, thinking that Arjuna had a vow to kill him. So at that time, Karna goes and beats Bhima with his bow. Abhi kyun bhag rahe ho? So at that time, Bhima tells to Karna, don't you remember I have already defeated you 2-3 times? I am simply running away because I am thinking about Partha, who has a stronger desire to kill you. So all these references from Mahabharata show that Bhima was a great fighter with arrows also. So Bhima and Arjuna and great fighters like Yudhana, Virat and Drupada. Chalo. Verse number 5. Are you all with me till now? Or कि आप लोग समाधि ले चुके हैं? दृष्टकेतुश्चेकितानः काशीराजश्च वीर्यवान् पुरुजित् कुन्तिभोजश्च शैव्यश्च नरपुङ्गवः. There are also other great heroic powerful fighters like Drishtaketu, Chekitan, Kashiraja, Purujit, Kuntibhoja and Shaibya. So you can try to do some homework. Who is Drishtaketu, who is Chekitan, who is Kashiraj, Purujit, Kuntibhoj, Shaibya, all these people you can try to. You have to ask someone or search the internet. Verse number 6. युधामन्युश्च विक्रांत उत्तमौजाश्च वीर्यवान् सौभद्रो द्रौपदेयाश्च सर्व एव महारथः. There are mighty Yudhamanyu, the very powerful Uttamauja, the son of Subhadra. Who is he? Abhimanyu, the sons of Draupadi. All these warriors are Maharathah. Homework. Try to find out who is an Ardharathi, who is a Maharathi, who is Atirathi. Try to find out these things. Now, verse 7 onwards. Till now, Pandava's army was being described. Verse number 3 to 6 was Pandava army. Now, verse 7 to 9 will be Duryodhana's army. Please listen about Duryodhana's army. अस्माकं तु विशिष्ट ये तान्निबोध द्विजोत्तम नायक मम सैन्यस्य संज्ञार्थं तान् ब्रवीमि ते. But for your information, so till now he is glorifying the Pandavas. So other people standing next to him are thinking, हम लोग क्या less important हैं? क्या हम लोग ऐसे ही आ गए हैं? हमारे को कोई glorify ही नहीं कर रहा है. Nobody is glorifying us. We are also great warriors. This the whole army was getting demotivated. Bhima hai, Arjun hai, Chekitan hai, Kashiraj. Kashiraj is the best archer of his time. You can do some research about it. So nobody can defeat Kashiraj. ऐसा statements होता था. Kashiraj आ गया. Rukmini's father? Not sure. He's not from Kashi. Kashi Raja means Raja of Kashi. Like some people's name is Dwarkanath, but they stay in Chandragiri. So here Kashi Raja means ruler of Kashi, not that Kashi Raja who is staying in Madras province. Okay. But for your information, as if Dronacharya doesn't know. O best of the Brahmanas, let me tell you about the captains who are especially qualified to lead my military force. I am simultaneously checking my notes. One thing in my notes for verse number 6. Saubhadro Draupadeyascha. Here cha refers to other sons like Ghatotkach. These are some extra commentary from my side. Actually not from my side, from the seniors who have taught me. The 5 sons of the Pandavas were Prativindhya, Shrutasena, Shrutakirti, Shatanika and Shrutakarma, and the word cha here indicates other sons such as Ghatotkach. This is what I have mentioned. So all these were Maharathis. And then I have written down the definition of Maharathi, Atirathi, that you can do research and try to find out. Verse number 7 we have done. Best amongst the Brahmanas. Dvija means Brahmana. Why is a Dvija Brahmana called Dvija? Twice born. Twice born. Next. Dvija. Fifth.
Second life, because he has been leading a material life, but then as the authentic acharya, he gets to start at spiritual life.
Not necessary. Janmana Jayate Shudra means by birth one is not purified by the Vedic samskaras, which is very essential. So purification starts even before conception, which is called Garbhadana Samskar. So Janmana Jayate Shudra. There are 10 Garbhadan Samskaras. Even if one has performed Garbhadan Samskara and conceived a child, still the child is impure because remaining samskaras are pending. So samskarat bhaved dvija. When you get the upanayana at the age of 5 or 6, that is dvija, second birth. First birth from father, second birth upanayana. In many houses the father, in Madhvas the father only will do. In other places the teacher, spiritual master will do. Like for Pandavas, Kripacharya did. So he will call them and give them some mantras to chant, by which they will practice cleanliness, sense control, austerities, brahmacharya, etc. That is samskarat bhaved dvija. After that, they have to study the Vedas. Veda pathat bhaved viprah. Then they will become vipras. But ultimately, when they meet an acharya, then they become Brahman. Brahma janat iti Brahman. So Kripacharya will not explain Brahma. Dronacharya will also not explain Brahma. They will teach only archery skills. Dhaumya Rishi, who met them during exile, gave them Brahma Vidya. So then Pandavas came in the quality of. So Dvija means basically Upanayan Samskar, properly. Not general understanding which we have. This is from Vedic perspective I am explaining, not from ISKCON perspective. ISKCON perspective means initiation को ही द्विजा बोल देते हैं. Second initiation they start calling Dvija. But just because you have got second initiation, that does not mean that you are, for example, the day I got second initiated, one of ashram members के आज से आप ब्राह्मण हैं, and then they started paying obeisance. अरे भाई आज से ब्राह्मण नहीं, ब्राह्मण बनने में पूरा life लगेगा. We have to practice that brahmanical skill authorized from today. Does it make it clear? Dronacharya. Dvijo mein uttam. Also, our teeth are also called as Dvija. Why? एक निकल के फिर दूसरा आता है. जिसका नहीं निकला होता है उसका क्या होता है? दूध के दांत होते हैं. तो दूध के दांत टूटते हैं, नए दांत आते हैं. तो in some phrases the teeth are also called as Dvija. So like that many things are referred as Dvija. Twice born, जिसका भी 2 बार birth होता है. But from human perspective, Upanayan is called Dvija. Brahmanas can, in emergency, Brahmanas can take up the job of Kshatriyas. Further emergency, they can take up the job of Vaishyas, but lower than Vaishyas, Brahmanas cannot do. Similarly, Kshatriyas in emergency can take up the job of Vaishyas, but lower than Vaishyas, they cannot do. They cannot go. These are some emergency rules. So Brahmanas should not fight. That is why Vishwamitra did not fight. He came to whom? Dashrath, to ask help for Ram. So ideally Dronacharya shouldn't have been fighting. But why he fought the battlefield will be answered in the future verses. because he remained silent when Draupadi was being disrobed. That's why he had to fight also later on. Verse number 8. भवान् भीष्मश्च कर्णश्च कृपाश्च समतीञ्जयः अश्वत्थाम विकर्णश्च सौमदस्तिस्तथैव च. There are personalities like you, Bhishma, Karna, Kripa, Ashwathama, Vikarna, and son of Somadatta called Bhurishrava, who are always victorious in battle. Purport, please.
Duryodhana mentioned the exceptional heroes in the battle, all of whom are ever victorious. Vikarna is the brother of Duryodhana. Ashwathama is the son of Dronacharya, and Somadati or Bhushava is the son of the king of Bahikas. Karna is the half brother of Arjuna, as son of Kunti before her marriage with King Pandu. Kripacharya, twin sister, married Dronacharya.
So why he is telling Bhavan Bhishmascha Karnascha? Who is the greatest warrior in Kurukshetra battlefield? Why is he telling Dronacharya? Personalities like you and Bhishma. जिससे बात कर रहे हैं वही सर्वश्रेष्ठ हैं. He is telling जिससे बात कर रहे हैं वही आप सरकार हैं, महान हैं. Any other reason other than flattery? Yes. He was a Brahmana. So Brahmanas will always be addressed first because teachers are more important than the military commander also. Verse number 9 is the prophecy verse. अन्ये च बहवः शूरा मदर्थे त्यक्तजीविताः नानाशास्त्र प्रहारणाः सर्वे युद्ध विशारदाः. There are many other men who are prepared to lay down their lives for my sake. Madarthe tyaktajivitaah. All of them are equipped with different kinds of weapons and are experienced in military science. Visharadaha. Please read the purport.
Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. As far as the others are concerned, like Jayadratha, Kritavarma, and Shalya, all are determined to lay down their lives for Duryodhana's sake. In other words, it is already concluded that all of them would die in the battle of Kurukshetra for joining the party of the sinful Duryodhana. Duryodhana was, of course, confident of his victory on account of the above mentioned combined strength of his friends. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you.
Yes. So they are willing to give up their lives in order to help me. Madarthe tyaktajivitaah. Literal meaning of this could be Madarthe tyaktajivitaah. For me, they have already died also. Another meaning. And there is a verse in chapter 11 where Lord Krishna says, by my arrangement, these people have already been killed. So there is a, you can relate this verse 1.9 to 11.33, where Krishna is telling, by my arrangement, all these people are already killed. Nimit Matar Bhava Savyashachi. 11.33. Just be my instrument. So you can link that Krishna is telling all these people are already killed, and Duryodhana is also telling Madarthe Tyakta Jivita. You know, already marne wale hain mere liye. And Prabhupada is also prophesizing. In other words, it is already concluded that all of them would die in the battlefield of Kurukshetra for joining the party of sinful Duryodhana. So this is how we have to study. One second. Why Vikarna's name is mentioned here? Is he in the same category? I forgot to discuss this. Verse number 8. Is he in the same category as Bhishma, Karna, Kripa and Ashwathama? Then why Vikarna's name is coming?
But he raised objection.
Because he raised objection. जो भी objection raise करेगा उसको इज्जत देंगे.
Please him.
He was the only one who objected what?
Draupadi's deed.
Destroying of Draupadi. So politics means whoever is raising objection to you, keep them close to you. This is politics. So he was afraid that Krishna will go and talk to some people, or Yudhishthir will go and talk to some people, and before the battle only some people will leave me and go away. Especially this Vikarna. So therefore give him the same status as Bhishma and Drona and Karna by mentioning his name there. Because his ego will be massaged. So therefore he will not leave my party. This is called politics. Politics is all about massaging the... Yes, you have been raising your hand. You have a question. We will not be able to hear you until you have a mic.
Prabhuji, in verse 8, Karna name also came in. But I think Karna was not available at Kurukshetra at that time, right? Means due to Bhishma took some.
No, he was there on his side. He was there on his side.
But he was in.
Even when Karna is not there, his presence is being felt. That is friendship. Bhavan Bhishmascha Karnascha. Another meaning of this statement could be, my dear Bhishma, you have decided not to kill Pandavas, no? Karna is there. Bhavan Bhishmascha Karnascha. Bhishma is also, see, we don't know what Duryodhana is thinking, but we are just interpreting, speculating, philosophically speculating. That he is telling Bhavan first to tell Bhishma that if you don't fight, Bhavan is there. Drona will fight. And if Drona is also sympathetic, Karna is there. So in this way, politically, one double meaning statements are basically. Do you know the meaning of double meaning statements? Yeah, that is happening. Verse number, this is the double meaning verse. You can note down. This is called as the double meaning verse. What is the double meaning? The word aparyaptam. The word aparyaptam can mean two things. Aparyapt, insufficient, and immeasurable also. Paryapt se bhi zyada hai, aparyapt. So which meaning you take, that will change the whole translation of this verse. Aparyaptam tad asmakam balam bhishmabhirakshitam paryaptam tva idam etesham balam bhimabhirakshitam. So now you tell me which meaning of aparyapt you want to take, sufficient or insufficient? No. First tell me.
Whatever Prabhupada gave, immeasurable.
Okay, let's take immeasurable. So Duryodhana is telling, aparyaptam tadasmakam. Our strength is immeasurable. Why? Because we are perfectly protected by Bhishma. इसके पहले भवान भवान कर रहा था. Bhishma would be feeling bad कि I am the greatest. So immediately he has changed. Our strength is immeasurable because we are perfectly protected by Bhishma. And paryaptam, what is the meaning of paryapta? Limited. Prabhupada writes limited. So Bhima, whereas the strength of the Pandavas carefully protected by Bhima is limited. Read the translation. कोई भी पढ़ लो यार. 10th, right?
Purport. Our strength is immeasurable.
No, purport. Sorry. You are telling
Herein,
purport.
an estimation of comparative strength is made by Duryodhana. He thinks that the strength of his armed forces is immeasurable, being specifically protected by the most experienced general, grandfather Bhishma. On the other hand, the forces of the Pandavas are limited, being protected by a less experienced general, Bhima, who is like a fig in the presence of Bhishma. Duryodhana was always envious of Bhima because he knew perfectly well that if he should die at all, he would only be killed by Bhima. But at the same time, he was confident of his victory on account of the presence of Bhishma, who was a far superior general. His conclusion that he would come out of the battle victorious was well ascertained.
Now, there is another Acharya, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. He gives the opposite meaning of the word aparyapta. He takes aparyaptam as aparyapta. So then the whole translation changes. Where now Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, our troops are not up to the standard. Why? Because we are protected by Bhishma. What is the problem? He has taken a vow. He will not kill anybody, all the Pandavas. But their strength is paryapta. Protected by? Why? Because he has taken a vow to kill all of us. And whom is he telling this to? No. Talking to both. If Drona is hearing, he wants Drona to take this meaning, VCT meaning. Bhishma तो मारेंगे नहीं, जो मारना है आपको ही मारना है. And if Bhishma is hearing, then he wants Bhishma to take the literal meaning, aparyaptam. आप हैं तो हमारा कुछ बुरा नहीं हो सकता. So you see how double meaning statements he is taking. He intends Bhishma to hear and become happy that aparyaptam tadasmakam balam Bhishma bhirakshitam. But he is talking to Drona, aparyaptam tadasmakam balam Bhishma bhirakshitam. You understand the two meanings here? This is the double meaning statement which Duryodhana is playing. You had understood how interesting first chapter is? It's a rasa. If you study it scrutinizingly. That is why we do study scrutinizingly. Okay, let's move to the 11th verse.
Prabhuji, question.
Question.
If two acharyas give two different meanings of the same word, how is it as it is?
How is it as it is? Krishna is infinite. All the interpretations of all the acharyas are correct. If we start saying that interpretation of only one acharya is correct, another acharya is incorrect, then we are saying that this parampara system is wrong. Because in parampara, each acharya has to agree with the previous acharya. That is the meaning of parampara. However, when different acharyas have slight different inclination, you should understand this is a rasa. One should argue on tattva, not on rasa. And Krishna is Rasraj. Unlimited rasas are there. Which rasa, which acharya will subscribe to, we don't know. So when we get the maturity to understand that Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is also right, Prabhupada is also right, Baldev Vidyabhushan is also right. Although they may be speaking a little differently, but they are all speaking the same supreme absolute truth as it is. That day you should understand I have become mature in my reading. Does this make sense?
Okay. Yeah. Yes, it makes sense. And I think even though they speak differently, I think that they are not speaking of two entirely different ideas. Both
are similar.
Both are same thing. Like Bhishma, when you look at him as somebody who has taken a vow not to kill, then it's aparyaptam in the sense of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur.
Now to add to your statement, in some cases the acharyas contradict each other. How to understand that? Here it is like adding to each other. In the third canto of Bhagavatam, Jai Vijay pastime, Acharyas contradict each other. One Acharya says Jai Vijay is right, one Acharya says Kumaras are right. All contradictions simultaneously settle down in the personality of Lord Krishna. This is God. His character is full of contradictions, at the same time, everything is fine. This is not valid for you and me. In my character, if some contradiction is there, then it is a contradiction. But Krishna is so great that contradictory things will simultaneously exist and add to his greatness. Can you give an example? Krishna is a thief also. And Krishna is Bhaktavatsal also. Or Krishna is Vardharaj also, best of the givers. Many people who give, the best among them is Vardharaj, Krishna. But at the same time, he is called as a thief also. The best amongst the thieves. Chauragraganyam. So this is contradiction. But both of them are adding to Krishna's characteristics. Because when he gives like anything, and when he steals things what? Which nobody can steal. Like lust, anger, greed, heart of the devotee. So all contradictions can simultaneously coexist beautifully in the personality of Krishna. That is why Acharyas sometimes they contradict each other, but still they are speaking as it is. Does it make sense?
And this will not hold if somebody out of a parampara tries to take advantage of Krishna's infiniteness and speak something out of his own concoction.
Somebody who is not in parampara should not speak on it first. उसको माइक ही नहीं मिलना चाहिए, उसका YouTube चैनल भी YouTube should not allow. YouTube should ask a question, are you connected to some parampara? Yes, okay, you are allowed to make a channel. If you are not connected to any parampara, shut up. This is a fact. If you are not in any parampara, why do you want to speak? You speak nonsense. काश कि ऐसा होता. Now, other people have started thinking कि हम क्या फोकट में आए हैं यहाँ पर? ये सब भीष्मा और कर्ण और विकर्ण, ये विकर्ण का कोई वैल्यू नहीं, उसको हम लोग करो थोड़ा at least two people should appreciate us. So Duryodhana is realizing, then the verse comes. Anyeshu cha sarveshu yatha bhagam avasthita bhishmam evabhirakshanto bhavantah sarva evahi. All of you, बाकी लोग को देख के, आप लोग भी आए हैं दूर से, all of you. Now give full support to grandfather Bhishma. Why? Because he is eldermost. Although he is the greatest Atirathi, not even Maharathi, but still he is an old man. No? Old man should be served and taken care of. You may have a problem with Karna, Vikarna and others, ego clashes, but Bhishma se kya ego clash? He is an old man. So you all should give protection to Bhishma. और कहाँ से protection देना है? As you stand in your respective strategic points of the entrance into the phalanx of the army, do not compete to become the military general commander in chief here. जहाँ हो वहीं रहो, ज़्यादा हीरो मत बनो. आप लोग भी आए हैं भीष्मा को protect. Although he does not need your protection, but फिर भी protection दो, क्योंकि old man है. This is politics. Please read the purport. Raja. Now Duryodhana is Raja. Correct. Rajniti. Thank you. One who knows Rajniti is definitely a Raja. Continue reading, please. Don't wait.
Duryodhana, after praising the prowess of Bhishma, further considered that others might think that they had been considered less important. So, in his usual diplomatic way, he tried to adjust the situation in the above words. He emphasized that Bhishma Dev was undoubtedly the greatest hero, but he was an old man, so everyone must especially think of his protection from all sides. He might become engaged in the fight, and the enemy might take advantage of his full engagement on one side. Therefore, it was important that other heroes do not leave their strategic positions and allow the enemy to break the phalanx. Duryodhana clearly felt that the victory of the Kurus depended on the
Bhishma Deva.
presence of Bhishma Deva.
Why? He was confident of the full support of Bhishma Deva and Dronacharya in the battle. Why? Because he knew well that they did not speak even a word when Arjuna's wife Draupadi, in her helpless condition, had appealed them for justice while she was being forced to appear naked in the presence of the great assemblies, great generals in the assembly. Point to be noted. Why Duryodhana was confident? कि जब गैम्बलिंग में कुछ नहीं बोला तो आप क्यों बोलोगे? चुपचाप लड़ो. This is the mood. Please continue the purport.
Although he knew that the two generals had some sort of affection for the Pandavas, he hoped that these generals would now completely give it up, as they had done during the gambling performances.
Verse number 12. Tasya sanjanayan harsham kuru viddha pitamaha simhanadam vinadyuchaihi shankham dadmau pratapavan. Then Bhishma, the great valiant grandsire of Kuru dynasty, the grandfather of the fighters, blew his conch shell very loudly, simhanadam, making a sound like the roar of a lion, giving Duryodhana joy. Purport.
The grandsire of the Kuru dynasty could understand the inner meaning of the heart of his grandson Duryodhana, and out of his natural compassion for him, he tried to cheer him by blowing his conch shell very loudly, befitting his position as a lion. Indirectly, by the symbolism of the conch shell, he informed his depressed grandson Duryodhana that he had no chance of victory in the battle because the Supreme Lord Krishna was on this other side. But still, it was his duty to conduct the fight, and no pains would be spared in
Yes.
that
So indirectly, he is telling, Dekho, you are going to die. I am also going to die. I will lay down my life in the battlefield following the code of conduct of Kshatriya. I will fight. No pains would be spared in that connection, but ultimately, you are going to lose. But still, as long as I am alive, it's my duty to please you. तो लो बजा देता हूं मैं. बजा दिया. Now, where else have you heard this word? Loud roar, a sound like the roar of a lion. In Vedic scriptures, where have you else heard Simhanadam? I mean, we are talking metaphoric as a descriptive experience, metaphorical, allegorical expression of Simhanadam. I'm not able to hear you. Simha Guru, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Why is he called Simha Guru? He used to eat up his students, or he used to shout at his students like a lion, roar like a lion.
He used to eat up the false ego and false conceptions of his disciples and followers.
What happens when a lion comes? Sorry? Small animals run away. Similarly, when Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to come, who used to run away? Mayavadis, Nirvisheshvadis, Shunyavadis. So he was called as a Simha Guru. Another experience or another example of holy name, the holy name is called as Simhanad. Just like when a lion comes and roars in the forest, all the animals run away. Similarly, when the holy name enters the life of a sadhaka, all the sinful reactions, they run away. Have you not heard this? The holy name is compared to the roar of a lion. All the sinful reactions and anarthas, out of fear of Lord Krishna, they run away, provided the holy name enters. लेकिन होली नेम कभी एंटर ही नहीं हो रहा है. हरे कृष्णा, हरे माला हो जा रहा है, एंटर ही नहीं हो रहा. That's a different problem. Okay.
Homework. Find out the verse which refers to the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra as the roar of a lion. It is mentioned in various places. It is there in Valmiki Ramayana also. It is mentioned in the Puranas also, various places. Verse number 13. Tatah shankhascha bheryascha panavanak gomukha सहसैवाभ्य हन्यन्त सशब्दस्तुमुलो bhavat. After that, the conchs, drums, bugles, trumpets, horns were all suddenly sounded, and the combined sound was tumultuous. Yes, there is no purport to this. Some research. Panava is a type of a drum. Anaka is a type of a kettle drum. Gomukha is a type of a trumpet. And these were being played from both the sides, meaning that both the sides were eager to fight. Why these drums, bugles, trumpets used to be there in water battlefield? Kya zarurat hai sir? To motivate everyone. That means background music is necessary, huh? While fighting also. Somebody is dying, 1 minute. Ab maro. See, it actually helps, background music. Music changes the spirits. If the right music and the right words are being vibrated, it can make someone victorious also. Depressing music is being played and depressing things are being spoken, it can make someone depressed also. That is the power of sound. So background music was important 5,000 years ago. So they used to be little separate from the war. Just like in war, when the press people go, even the terrorists, they don't kill the press people. So similarly, these war musicians को कोई हाथ नहीं लगाता. उनका अब काम है, बजा रहा है, बजाएंगे. Doctors used to be there on battlefield. उनको भी कोई मारता नहीं था. Okay, verse number 15. Oh, sorry, 14. Now somebody is entering. Who is entering? I mean, he's already there, but description is entering. Tatah shveter hayer yukte mahati syandane sthitau madhavah pandavaschaiva divyau shankhau pradhamatuhu. On the other side, both Lord Krishna and Arjuna stationed on a great chariot drawn by white horses. Shveter hayer yukte. Sounded their transcendental conchs. Purport, please.
In contrast with the conch shell blown by Bhishmadeva, the conch shells in the hand.
Other people's chariot is not mentioned, but here it is called as a great chariot. Mahati Syandane. One should take note that the chariot of Arjuna is little special. दुर्योधना के चैरियट का, राजा का चैरियट का बात नहीं हो रहा है, बट अर्जुना क्यों, what is the speciality with Arjuna's chariot? Given by Agnidev. So what is the speciality of that chariot? Huh? Protected from all sides, always victorious, given by some. There is difference of opinion. कोई अग्नि बोल रहा है, कोई सूर्य बोल रहा है, कोई बोल देगा दोनों सेम ही हैं. Had the dhwaja of Hanumanji. One speciality of this chariot is that this chariot could move on land, could move in water, could move in air, could move in ether, and could move in fire also. ऐसा कार अगर मिलेगा मजा आ जाएगा फिर हैं? बैंगलोर का ट्रैफिक को बीट कर देंगे. आई एम देयर ऑन होप फार्म सिग्नल. This was a special chariot. It was not an ordinary chariot. That's why you can do some research about this chariot. How Arjuna got this chariot? Why Arjuna only was given this chariot? Why Arjuna's chariot had 4 horses and why it was white only? What were the color of the horses of Krishna's chariot mentioned in Krishna book? Do some research. In this way, you'll get some desire to study the first chapter. Otherwise, क्या है, कौन कहाँ खड़ा है, कौन क्या बजा रहा है, ये सब spiritual life से relate करना है, तो you have to connect it to Krishna. First chapter is important because it is connection with Krishna. If Krishna wouldn't have been there on this battlefield, we wouldn't have been reading about कौन किधर खड़ा है, कौन क्या double meaning बोल रहा है. Nobody is bothering. Okay, purport please.
In contrast with the conch shell blown by Bhishma Deva, the conch shells in the hands of Krishna and Arjuna are described as transcendental.
Vidya.
The sounding of the transcendental conch shells indicated that there was no hope of victory for the other side because Krishna was on the side of Pandavas. Jayastu Pandu Putram Yesham Pakshe
Putranam Jayastu Pandu Putranam Yesham Pakshe Janardanaha.
Victory is always with the persons like sons of Pandu because Lord Krishna is associated with them. And whenever and wherever the Lord is present, the goddess of fortune is also there. Because
Signs of victory of the Pandavas is mentioned in this purport. There are 5 signs of victory of the Pandavas mentioned in the first chapter. I should not say all these closed book questions, I should not tell. You should find answers on your own. But 5 signs of victory of Pandavas. Some are mentioned in this purport, some are mentioned in later purport. One is mentioned in chapter 2 also. Please be attentive while reading. Continue.
therefore, victory and fortune are awaiting Arjuna as indicated by the transcendental sound produced by the conch shell of Vishnu or Lord Krishna. Beside that, the chariot on which both the friends were seated had been donated by Agni, the fire god, to Arjuna, and this indicated that this chariot was capable of conquering all sides wherever it was drawn over the 3 worlds.
So, based on our discussion, what are the signs of victory of the Pandavas? Signs of victory of Arjuna? Presence of Madhava, okay. Chariot of Agnidev. Presence of Lakshman.
Lakshmi Devi.
Presence of goddess of fortune because Madhava is there. On the chariot, Kapit Dhwajaha. Presence of Hanuman. These are some of the signs of the victory of the Pandavas. Jayastu, but the main sign is Jayastu Panduputranam Yesham Pakshe Janardanaha. Even if Lakshmi is at your side, even if Agni is at your side, even if Hanuman is at your side, until Janardana is on your side, nothing becomes confirmed. But even if Lakshmi is not on your side, even if Agni is not on your side, if Janardana is on your side, then victory is sure. Text number 15 to 18. Till verse number 19, I think we'll keep studying who is blowing which conch shell. Okay, 15 and verse number 15. Panchajanyam Rishikesho Devadattam Dhananjayah Paundram Dadno Mahashankham Bhimakarma Brikodaraha. So different personalities, conch shell is named. Point to be noted, the names of the conch shell of the Kauravas, including Bhishma, is not mentioned. But the names of the conch shells of some people are mentioned. Rishikesha, Panchajanya Rishikeshu. So Rishikesh is Lord Ganesha. सब लोग जगे हुए हैं. Rishikesha is Lord Krishna. And the name of his conch shell is? So read about it, do some research. Dhananjaya is Arjuna. Name of his conch shell is? Devadatta. Do some research. Vrikodara is, name of his consul is Aundra. Yudhishthira's consul name is, next verse, Ananta, Ananta Vijaya. Nakula's consul name is Sughosha. Sahadeva's consul name is Manipushpakau. Manipushpak. Why is Krishna called Rishikesha? Whose senses? Yours or mine? Or only his?
All senses.
Everyone's. So he controls the senses of his devotees. Senses will not go on a wrong track as long as one is surrendered to Krishna. So he is Rishikesha. Although he is controlling the senses of those people also who are not surrendered to him, but their senses he allows Prakriti to manage. But the senses of his pure devotees he manages on his own. Therefore he is called Rishikesha. Arjuna is called Dhananjaya. Why? From all over the world. Means he was like Elon Musk. Yes, that's true actually. Yudhishthir wanted to do Rajasuya Yagya. So for doing Rajasuya Yagya, you cannot go on epuja.com. You need a lot of wealth. A mountain of gold is needed. So a mountain of gold even Yudhishthir didn't have. So Arjuna was sent, different brothers were sent in different directions. This is mentioned in Bhagavatam. So on southern direction Bhima was sent, northern direction Arjuna was sent, eastern direction Nakula was sent, and western direction Sahadeva was sent. So they all defeated all people. All these Turks, Mughals, all were defeated by Sahadeva. Similarly, eastern side Nakul conquered, southern side Bhima conquered. Northern is Uttar Kuru. Means if you want to go outside Bharatvarsha, first of all, understanding of Bharatvarsha has to come. Bharatvarsha doesn't mean where India is ending and China is starting. The whole earth globe is called Bharatvarsha. The whole not whole Bhumandala. On the Bhumandala, there is one structure which is like a globe, that is Bharatvarsha. Now, if you want to go beyond Bharatvarsha, you need to have special qualities. Generally, in the human body, you cannot cross Bharatvarsha, you cannot go outside Bharatvarsha. But Arjuna had special qualification. He was able to go to Uttar Kuru, which is beyond Bharatvarsha, and he met those people who are greater than human beings. There are many Varshas. One of them is Bharatvarsha on the Bhumandala. 9 Varshas are there. All the other 8 Varshas are like Swargas. Some of these Varshas are even better than Swarga. In all those places, no tapasya needs to be done. No farming also needs to be done. Everything is automatically available. वहाँ मैंगो जूस नहीं, मैंगो का रिवर, मैंगो जूस का रिवर बहता है. Whatever you don't need to buy diamonds. So diamonds river bed में ही मिल जाएगा. Milk freely available है, juices freely available है, crops freely. You just need to enjoy बाबा. अब लोग सोच रहे हैं मैं वहाँ क्यों नहीं पैदा हुए. There is no concept of economics in other varshas because everything is sufficiently abundant in nature only. Only in Bharat Varsha one has to do karma, one has to do struggle for material existence. And those souls which are on a spiritual path, they take birth in Bharat Varsha. So Arjuna was having the capability of going beyond Bharatvarsha through the path of Uttar Kuru, where he met other celestial beings. And he said, my brother is performing Rajasuya Yagya and I want your cooperation. He said, we all cooperate. He's a devotee of Lord Krishna. We all cooperate. So I want to ask others. They said, no need to ask. Beyond this, human beings cannot go. We are telling that everybody agrees with Yudhishthir, you take this money, you take this wealth, everything you take and go do the Rajasuya. So they gave a lot of wealth to Arjuna. And that wealth was so much that even Duryodhana became jealous. And that's how Arjuna got the name Dhananjaya. How did Bhima got the name Brikodara? And eats a lot and does what? Herculean tasks. So there are two kinds of eaters. आप लोग क्यों हंस रहे हैं? I don't know. Please don't look at me and laugh. There are two kinds of people who eat. Number one, those who eat and work hard. Number two, those who eat and expect others to work hard. And they themselves don't work hard. So Srila Prabhupada used to say in a very nice way, big big monkey, big belly, Ceylon jumping melancholy. So there are some people who eat a lot, and monkey means a person whose senses are not controlled. So when you eat a lot, your senses will not be in control. And then you'll be like a monkey, and somebody will ask you to do some task. Okay, jump over the ocean, find about Sita and come. You will be melancholy. हम नहीं कर सकते. Some problem is there. उसको बोलो. प्रभु जी क्या हम ही दिखे हैं? हम तो आते हैं महीने में एक बार. Sunday feast में हम ही को आप services दे रहे हैं. So this is melancholy. So Bhima was not like that. Bhima used to eat a lot also and work a lot also. Big monkey, big belly. First of all, Bhima didn't have any belly. He was a very strong person. Yesterday, somebody was showing me the description of Kali Purusha, who is mentioned in Bhagavatam. So, Kali Purusha is described to have a big round belly, and his complexion is like that of a crow, and hair is like that. And different clothes are like that. It's described here. So, Bhima was not like that. Bhima used to eat a lot and work a lot. Okay, so therefore he is called Vrikodar. So therefore our ahar should be based on our lifestyle. If your lifestyle is that whole day you want to sit down in front of a laptop, then you should eat not like Bhima. Okay. Please read the purport to verse number 15. And we will stop today.
Hare Krishna. Purport: Lord Krishna is referred to as Rishikesha in this verse because he is the owner of all senses. The living entities are part and parcel of him, and therefore the senses of the living entities are also part and parcel of his senses. The impersonalist cannot account for the senses of the living entities, and therefore they are always anxious to describe all living entities as senseless or impersonal. The Lord, situated in the hearts of all living entities, directs their senses. But he directs in terms of the surrender of the living entity. And in the case of a pure devotee, he directly controls the senses.
Point to be noted: in case of pure devotee, Krishna controls their senses. Continue.
Here on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, the Lord directly controls the transcendental senses of Arjuna and thus his particular name of Rishikesha. The Lord has different names according to his different activities. For example, his name is Madhusudana because he killed the demon of the name Madhu. His name is Govinda because he gives pleasure to the cows and to the senses. His name is Vasudev because he appeared as the son of Vasudev. His name is Devaki Nandan because he accepted Devaki as his mother. His name is Yashoda Nandan because he awarded his childhood pastimes to Yashoda at Vrindavan. His name is Parth Sarthi because he worked as a charioteer of his friend Arjun. Similarly, his name is Rishikesha because he gave direction to Arjun on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Arjun is referred to as Dhananjaya in this verse because he helped his elder brother in fetching wealth when it was required by the king to make expenditures for different sacrifices. Similarly, Bhima is known as Vrikodara because he could eat as voraciously as he could perform Herculean tasks, such as killing the demon Hidimba. So, in the particular types of conch shell blown by the different personalities on the side of the Pandavas, beginning with the lords, were all very encouraging to the fighting soldiers. On the other side, there were no such credits nor the presence of Lord Krishna, the supreme director, nor that of the goddess of fortune. So they were predestined to lose the battle, and that was the message announced by the sounds of the conch shells.
Yes, another sign of victory of the Pandavas is the Divya Shankha. All the conch shells, or at least Panchjanyam, Rishikesho, Devadatta, Dhananjaya. These two conch shells are definitely called as Divya Shankha. So transcendental conch shells is also a sign of victory. Krishna is a sign of victory. Goddess of fortune is a sign of victory. Chariot of Agni is a sign of victory. Kapidhwaja is a sign of victory. These are the 5 signs of victory of the Pandavas. By calling Divya Shankhav Pradadmatuhu, Sanjaya very tactfully has informed Dhritarashtra. कोई hope नहीं है that your sons are going to get killed in the battle. Why? Because they have been cheaters, and Dhritarashtra encouraged them in the cheat. Verse number 16 to 18 is just some names. We will chant those names and then nothing much to discuss. अनंत विजयम राजा कुंती पुत्रो युधिष्ठिरः नकुलः सहदेवश्च सुघोष मणिपुष्पकौ काश्याश्च परमेश्वासः शिखण्डी च महारथः दृष्टद्युम्नो विराटश्च सात्यकीश्चापराजितः द्रुपदो द्रौपदेयाश्च सर्वशः पृथ्वीपते सौभद्रश्च महाबाहुः शंखं दद्मो पृथक् पृथक्. Read the translation. King Yudhishthir, the son of Kunti, blew his conch shell, the Ananta Vijaya, and Nakul and Sahadev blew Sughosha and Manipushpaka. So there is one teacher, I'm just forgetting his name. He started Bhakti Shastri teaching for the first time in ISKCON. He made a commentary. I was hearing his lecture. He was telling that the names of those people whose conch shells are mentioned, only they will survive. All the other people whose conch shells names are not given, the game over. So he, just to explain to his students, he was saying, and I found it is very interesting understanding. So you see, all the other people whose names are conch shells are not mentioned, practically they will die. Practically almost all of them will die. The great archer, king of Kashi, the great fighter Shikhandi, Drishtadyumna, Virata, and the unconquerable Satyaki, Drupada, the sons of Draupadi, and the others, O king, such as the mighty armed son of Subhadra, all blew their respective conch shells. So Sanjaya informed King Dhritarashtra very tactfully that his unwise policy of deceiving the sons of Pandu and endeavoring to enthrone his sons on the seat of the kingdom was not very laudable. The signs already clearly indicated that the whole Kuru dynasty would be killed in the great battle, beginning with the grandfather Bhishma, down to the grandsons like Abhimanyu and others, including the kings from many states of the world. All were present there and all were doomed. The whole catastrophe was due to the king Dhritarashtra because he encouraged the policy followed by his sons. So very tactfully, in verse number 14 only, by calling them as Divya Shankhav Pradadmatuhu, Sanjaya has told. So Sanjaya knows the art to speak the truth without agitating. You should learn from Sanjaya. Secretly बोल दिया दिव्य शंख प्रदत्मतु, और only 5 people शंखा has been named. मतलब यही 5 बचेंगे. अभिमन्यु सब लोग मरेंगे. So indirectly he is telling. Okay, so let's stop here today. because the verse number 19 shares concludes the tactful statement of Sanjaya. He's saying the blowing of these different conch shells became uproarious, vibrating both sky and earth, and it shattered the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra. This is not Sanjaya's statement, this is Bhagavad-gita's statement. Bhagavad-gita is confirming what Sanjaya is saying. Last line of the purport: one who takes shelter of the Supreme Lord has nothing to fear even in the midst of greatest calamity. We'll stop here. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram.